Yet, in these tough times, we know that many people are relying on their local community for help and support. So Kevin Dwala has been to meet a group of people doing just that in a Sikh temple in Smethwick.
All across Britain, more people than ever are turning to Sikh places of worship, Gurdwaras, to get a free hot meal.
In the Sikh religion, giving free food to the community is a tradition which goes back centuries. But since the cost of living crisis, Gurdwaras like this one here in Smethwick have never seen such a huge demand.
Like everyone else who enters the temple, I take off my shoes and wash my hands. I also put on a headscarf to show respect. Showing me around is Sabjit Singh. He's been a volunteer here for over 8 years.
So what we're doing here now is preparing the food for the congregation.
And just roughly, Saab, how much food will be prepared today?
Anything up to 2,500 to 3,000 people today.
Wow.
This Gurdwara has been serving free meals for years.
So all the main cooking is done here. We've got sweet rice.
Okay.
We've got cauliflower and potatoes on today. And in the far pot, we've got chickpeas.
Right, smells delicious. And there's never ever a point where you'll turn people away without on an empty stomach?
No. So the Langar Hall starts serving food from about 4 o'clock in the morning till about 9 o'clock at night. And
wow.
You know, sometimes the line can be halfway down to the front gate.
Although most people here are Sikh and come to worship as well as eat and socialise, you don't have to be Sikh or want to pray to be welcomed. Mum of 4 Taylor is bringing her kids to the Gurdwara for the first time.
Thank you. You all right? I've got water, thank you.
Taylor is temporarily homeless. She's living in emergency council-provided accommodation and has started visiting food banks.
You know, before you came here today, Taylor, were you nervous?
Yeah, I didn't know what people would look at me like or...
So you were worried about what other people would think of you?
Yeah, it hits you there to come from somewhere where you were quite financially stable and you know, you're going downhill and you feel like it's hard to ask for help. You lose that dignity and that pride in yourself.
Yeah. How important is it for you now to be sitting down with the kids?
We actually haven't had the same dinner in a long time. You know, with having quite a lot of food bank food, you have to make different meals, you know, and they'll always have one sitting down as I'm cooking the others and then they go off. So it's nice to actually sit down with all of them, really.
Taylor isn't the only one finding a much-needed hot meal in the Gurdwara. Amy has been visiting the temple for a couple of months.
It's remarkable, to be honest with you. It's great, it really is.
If this wasn't here, what would your options be?
I'd starve until I get paid.
Right.
You know.
Yeah.
With a growing congregation and more local people struggling to pay for food, this Gurdwara in Smethwick is serving a massive 14,000 meals every single week, compared to 10,000 meals this time last year.
Vivinder, how does that work then if you go from 10,000 people a week to then try and cater for 14,000?
The congregation are very giving, so there is still money coming in.
Last month, food inflation surged to its highest rate on record, and costs could well carry on rising.
Cost of items has gone up. They have almost doubled in some cases. It is a struggle, but we are still coping.
Are you fearful for the future that if it does get worse?
Yeah, I think that's something that we will have to look into further on down the line if things do get worse, how we make ends meet.
I have every faith that, whatever the challenges, the volunteers here will do what they can to keep this Gurdwara running for the benefit of the congregation and members of the community, like Taylor and her family.
So Taylor, how have you found it?
It wasn't what I expected it to be. I thought I'd be judged or seen differently to everyone else, and it's been completely opposite.
I guess the big question is, would you come again?
Yes, I would.
Thank you very much, Kevin. How amazing is that?
So heartwarming, isn't it?
The community coming together, helping out, keeping people warm, looking after them, feeding them, exactly what we need right now.
Great as well.
It did as well.
Very nice. We can now go live to Matt, who's at a